will be brutally honest. Ain't nothing but being brutally honest. Coming at you with another video.
What is up, everybody? We are back. It's been at least over a week, but it's good.
We're back.
Yeah. Speaking of the holidays, I know Thanksgiving was last week. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was delicious and good. How was yours?
It was pretty good with the family. You know, everybody had a good little gathering. You know, good. I like the pies. Mostly the pies is my favorite part.
I was just about to ask, like, what is your my favorite dish of Thanksgiving? So you're a dessert guy.
I'm a dessert guy. Yes, like for some reason, sometimes the pumpkin pie tastes about good too, but sometimes that cheesecake Oreo just has a good taste. But usually, my mom makes the best potato salads. Those are those are good ones. And then there's like the stuffings. They have stuffings, but there's different kinds of it. You know.
Oh yeah, there's so many variations. Yeah, everything. It sounds delicious. Well, do you have a favorite pie though? Like, what would your favorite pie be then?
The Oreo cheesecake, the one where it has like I don't know, just something out of the ordinary. I like the sweet creamery of it, but if I had to choose like a season holiday, I would say the pumpkin pie, of course.
Yeah, that's always really good too. Yeah, but I made for the first time a Biscoff. Have you heard of that cookie spread? A Biscoff cheesecake? Yeah, so that was really good. My family loved it. So
yeah,
did something different this time. But yeah, Thanksgiving's always good to be around family, good food, football games.
Yeah, Granddad's. I didn't even eat a single turkey, man. I'm not too big on turkey like everybody else. I'm not like I used to like. I don't know. The turkey just isn't my thing, but usually.
Do you guys still do turkey, or do you guys do like ham or something else instead?
They do ham and turkey, but a lot of my family eats that, so I don't even get a chance to eat that. So I eat something else.
I like that.
God.
Apple peaches is cool.
Granddadzer has a vision of what I am because he says that's what fat boys do. Nah, I wish, but I don't. I mean, Thanksgiving was cool, except. I didn't see Cowboys lose, so that would have been a good Thanksgiving if the Dallas were to lose.
It would have been the
better with the Giants win. Yeah, if the Giants would have won, but they were trash too. So, let's see.
I'm trying to think. Was that also the Lions game too?
Yeah, Lions and Bears. Bears almost pulled off.
That game. They did. Oh my, yes. So yeah, I'm like, is this all coming together now? I'm like, yes, I watched that game and I remember thinking like, oh my God, I think the Bears are gonna win. Yes. And that was it was a morning game. That was the first one.
Yeah, it was a morning game or something. But what's crazy about that game was the Bears could have won it and they just blew it.
The very last minute too.
Yeah, and this team has been playing close football games. That's the crazy part, but against good teams you would expect. So it's like, oh, speaking of the Bears, you know, we'll talk more about them later, like as far as the night opponent. But I know this is crazy. They just fired their head coach.
I saw that, and so they have an interim coach at the moment.
Yeah.
That's
Thomas Brown,
the guy that played that game. That was the interim coach.
No, the interim coach is the guy who was he was moved from different positions. No, he's a different coach. He was the one that was offensive coordinator because they fired the OC like 2 weeks ago. And then now they're promoting him to head coach. This guy's moving up the rankings quickly on the Bears stat.
Okay.
Yeah, and
sometimes
Bears
things
have had
just align. So that is wild.
Yeah, the Bears have had a hard time closing out games lately. So
yes, I see that.
The problem with us
but they're still pretty good on the red zone.
Yeah, they're a fighting football team, so that's the problem with us. We've been getting slaughtered the last 2 games. Speaking of this game, man, that loss to Buffalo was just a bad taste in our mouth. We couldn't get nothing going in the snow, so that's what happens when you play in the snow.
Yes, and how do you feel about, I know there's Niner fans all over, and there's all sorts of things, and I mean, I think the least excuse you could use is it's in the snow. I feel like that's not a reasonable excuse, and we don't play in the snow and things of that nature, because Detroit, not Detroit, God, yeah, no, we didn't play the Lions. We played.
No, we played Green Bay.
Yes, the snow can't be an excuse at all, because you have to be able to play in any type of weather, because that's what you're going to get in the January playoffs time. Especially
if you have to go to Green Bay game, which is it's kind of been our habit of winning over there, but not because, but lately no, because we didn't have a quarterback against the Packers, and now we're going into this week with fair weather now, so we're not going to have to deal with this inclement, so it's not going to be a problem. But the problem is we're going to face a much hungry Bears team, because everybody keeps saying, well, what really went wrong for the Bears to begin with, was they just couldn't close out games. They couldn't get it. They had poor clock management, and the problem with the Niners was we had a hard time closing 4-quarter games, but now the last 2 games we're getting blown out, so we're not figuring out anything on offense right now.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And you are right. I think the Bears are coming in pretty hungry, and they've really shown that, especially against the Lions, they are a true contender, they can do it. And I feel that the Niners haven't played even a good enough team to really show that they can do it. So this game has a lot of anxiety around it, at least for me.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's going to be an evenly matched game. I don't think you're going to see blowouts or nothing like that. I think it's going to be a very close game between these 2 teams, because 2 of these teams have been disappointing. So, okay, Granddad has left a lot of comments. Suddenly playing the snow is a narrative when non-snow weather teams lose. When the Dolphins lose in the snow, they can't win in the snow. Other non-winning.
True.
The snow was. No, I mean, teams should know how to adjust in the weather environment. That's just my opinion. It doesn't matter how good you are, but you got to learn to. The excuses on Brock Purdy has to be at a point where, I think he needs to work on practicing on the weather. He might need to spend an offseason on going to somewhere where it's pretty cold and it's icy weather, and he has to learn how to grip better. They do have stuff like that. It's something with the elements where they can make the players prepare for that.
Yeah, I'm so happy you said that, because that was literally something that I thought of. I'm like, we put a man on the moon. Isn't there a place that he can go and be in a snow globe and just toss footballs all day and really adapt to it?
Yeah, and that could be something he could adapt to, and he could do better the next time around. The rain's another thing that he struggles the most too, so he's got to work on adapting to those.
Yeah, because it was heartbreaking. I don't remember the play and the exact move, but he threw it and it slipped from his hand. It looked like he didn't have the grip, and then it fumbled. Or it dropped, and it's just moments like that where you're like, he's kind of getting known for having slippery hands, especially in climates, right? When it's cold or misty or drizzling or something like that. So that's really unfortunate.
It is, because a lot of these teams should have advantage on these. I mean, these teams that play in this type of environment, they have the advantage the most, but it's because they're well equipped to it. Well, if they want to be prepared next time, they got to be prepared for the element stuff. So they don't mess up the next time, and maybe they'll adjust a lot better the next time around. But instead, when they were going to play with these guys that following week, they should have tried to practice those so they can adjust to it. But no, they just did it normal practice. They should have tried to go somewhere where it was a little icy or something for them.
Yeah, I definitely wonder if the organization thinks about something like that, especially after what has just happened, especially because it was a primetime game.
And it was embarrassing. Yes.
It was definitely embarrassing. It was definitely, and it wasn't even just Barack that had his moments, even though I think, the spotlight is on him. I saw Pearsall fall. Didn't Kittle fall. I mean, people were falling left and right. I think Debo fell. Like, we looked like little penguins starting to walk on ice is what we looked like. And I get it. We're not used to it, but it's a little bit embarrassing when it's your team on the national television for everyone to see.
Yeah. They just have to they just have to adjust with more. Like, I don't understand why Kyle doesn't take the time. Like, let's say we're facing an opponent on a very hot weather-wise. Mm-hmm. Don't you want to prepare for the heat also, just because you're playing over there? Or the team that's having ice-cold weather, don't you want to be prepared before you go to Green Bay or like, what is it, Chicago or something? Don't you want to prepare for those elements so you don't have that kind of performance?
Yeah. No, I agree. And wouldn't that be something that Jed York would do, like fly the team out and be like, okay, let's practice here because we're in Arizona and it's going to be 102 that day. Like, wouldn't that be something that the organization does?
Yes. I would think that would be something smart, like give them like 2 days in advance before they play or something. Get a final practice, like in a weather environment where they're going to play at least. Give them at least 2 practices out of it so they don't mess up.
So how much do you think of that game went wrong due to environment versus true skills?
Well, they've just underperformed. Mm-hmm. Like they haven't done their assignments right. Like some of the stuff that they were doing, they were really messing up in a lot of different ways. And even when we were trying to get into the red zone, we made a couple mistakes, and that's what really hurt it.
Mm-hmm. We did. I wasn't surprised by Moody not making that one kick. It was like real short, like real short.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate a lot. I also, I made a post about this and I got a little bit attacked. I didn't understand why we threw the ball to Juice. I don't know why we didn't just run it in with
Jordan Mason. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I thought we were gonna do. And then he dropped it. So there were also little things that I was like, what are you thinking? Because that's Kyle must have called that. Like, why did we do that?
It kind of seemed like it was going to work, but then he just fumbled. That's what really killed it. I think he was already moving the ball for us. It's just the ball security was the issue. Man, Granddad wants to know if it snows where he lives at. I don't know.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, he asked the funniest question. Let's see. Okay, so if we're talking about these games, okay, so for Buffalo, even though it wasn't quite the bright spot, we lost either way. But we got to look at the positive and negative side.
Okay, let's go. I'll go first. My favorite player and who I think did well. I'm going to steal it from you because I know he's your guy, but I'm going to say it. Let me go first. Jauan Jennings.
Well, I was going to allow that because honestly, that would be too much of me being a copycatter, and not copycatter, but like, what is it? Like I'm a Joanaholic or something. You
are Joanaholic. You are Joanaholic.
Well, I don't want to keep saying it because then it makes me sound homerish to say his name. So I'll just, I agree with you. Take it. Yeah, because he actually was the only receiver who actually produced better. So if you look at the targets, mm-hmm. He's actually the most target receiver like throughout the season.
Oh, yeah. He's the one. Like he's the one. I was really happy with his performance, and if I have a second one, I'll go to Guerendo with his touchdown. I was very pleased and happy with that because I'm liking to see these other players come into play because I personally felt like, and I know I talked about this already, I thought we were using McCaffrey way too much.
Yeah, we did. And well, since you already brought those two guys, I'll just say before the injury, I would say McCaffrey and Mason were pretty damn good until they got hurt. So I'll have to throw those two running backs into the mix. So I'll say both running backs. So yeah, they had a good performance. You already took my thunder off of Jennings, and then Garendo actually got the touchdown. So that's a good way to put it that way. So okay, so negative. Can you go into the negative first and tell you who disappointed you the most?
Yes. Grandizer already put it in the chat. You knew, and see, maybe I'm on his ass every week now, ever since you. Brendel, I watched it. I saw him. You are not the man. Get off the team. Get off the team. I literally had the post and I was like, you should not get on the plane. You need to walk back.
So Brendel, so you got him on there. That's good, because I don't want to keep telling this guy.
I got him for you because atrocious. Yeah. Literally walk home from New York.
No, but okay, so at least you got the understanding why I keep throwing his name out there. But
I see it. I see it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll have to say for you, you could throw another one.
Okay, Brendel. I thought what's his name? Number one. Debo.
Oh, Debo.
Underperformed. I've just been really disappointed in him this season also. So I think there's a little bit of that's going on too. Like him not speaking to the media when it's like, dude, you're a captain. So yeah, him and Brendel will be my two for this game.
Yeah, and Grant is just laughing about it. He says, he has footage of Brendel just standing there looking at the play develop. Have you seen that video?
You're gonna have to send it to me. That's hilarious.
It's the video by John Chapman. John Chapman.
I'll have to see it.
He made the video, but he actually allowed me to take the video because it's actually funny. Because it actually kind of says it's true. He's watching. Like, what is he doing? Okay, as far as negative, okay. Thank you for taking them off my case. I don't want to beat down a dead horse, you know?
I'm on it because I see it. If it wasn't true, I wouldn't say it. But now that you made me open my eyes, you know how it's like, oh, the truth. I see it now. I see it.
Yeah. Let's see, for somebody that's been disappointing, man. 59, Devondre Campbell has been man, this guy can't do the job. He just can't. Like, it's something about him that just frustrates me. Like, why can you not step in well for Greenlaw, dude? Come on.
Yes, that's been disappointing for sure. And I'm trying to think. You just said Greenlaw and something went off in my head. Isn't he expected to come back at the Rams game?
Yeah, he should be back on the Rams game. But here's another guy that's been disappointing to me, and you might not realize it, or maybe you might notice. Jair Brown. What the heck is wrong with this guy? He's kind of been off on his game a little bit. Like, have you seen that angle where he missed on James Cook?
Yeah.
If he would have made that.
That's it.
If he would have made that tackle, it wouldn't be a touchdown. This guy just missing his angles. It's frustrating.
He's been frustrating. You know who else? I'm looking at the thing. So Jair Brown, and I remember last year we were, especially towards the end, we were really like, oh, he's developing, he's looking great. But yes, that game he was kind of not that good. Denominator Lenore. I thought this game too, he wasn't that great. And I know
he didn't even play.
He wasn't in it at all?
No, he was out. It was I think you're referring to the
is it Ward? Is that who I'm thinking
Ward?
of?
Yeah, Ward. It was Ward. Ward returned.
Ward, you're right. Yeah. So Ward. There we go. I'm sorry. He didn't do well, and I was like, that's disappointing. So yes, you're right. I'm getting them confused. Ward.
Yeah, yes. Ward returned, and he didn't actually play like the way he usually plays. But either way, we didn't give up a lot of pass yards, so it was just penalties. It was mostly the running game that killed us.
Well, yes, and what you said, the penalties and turning it over. And what does that mean to you?
Yeah.
Because I think John said it in an interview, Lynch, he was like,
We
just
like
don't have the
discipline.
discipline. Yes. What is that? How do you translate that? What does that mean to you?
That means we're not doing the job right, and we're not staying on point on the assignment. Like, you got to be disciplined. You got to stick with it. You can't be undisciplined and not do the job right. Like, okay, what's undisciplined about this defense is the missed tackles. It's kind of been the issue. And then the angle tackle, like, come on, if Jair Brown would have made the tackle on James Cook on a perfect angle, it wouldn't have been a touchdown at all.
Right, right. But do you feel like, I guess what I'm asking also is like, with the discipline, is it more of the players not knowing what to do because they weren't coached correctly prior? Because sometimes it seems like, dude, it's a false start. Don't you know when to, or what was it?
It could be the miscommunication with some of these players, but still, it all comes down to the DC. He's supposed to get these guys ready, and he's not really doing a good job.
Yeah, he would be another one that if we can put like an asterisk also of who else was really bad, he would be on there. I think he's not performing. I
don't see the energy on this defense. I don't see the players fire up as they usually are. They don't seem like it. That's a really good point that you're bringing up right now, because this is something that I was talking to someone about too, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. I can see. And I knew that when Christian McCaffrey was not playing, it was hurting him. I could see it on his face that he wanted to play. He wanted to be out there. When he dropped a ball, you saw it. And I feel like this rest of the team, I can't see any emotions. They're like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I felt like with Christian, like, you literally were like, dude, no, he's hurting. He wants to play. He's trying his best. And you felt like this guy is actually giving it his all, where I'm really concerned about the other players. There's some of these players that don't feel like it. Like, it's just, there's some of them like Debo that just seems broken. Doesn't seem like mentally in like he used to be. I mean, you look at Trent Williams. He's kind of going through something too, and Ward not mentally there. So it's like you got a lot of these players who are tapped out or just broken right now. Like, the only players that are hungry to be here right now that are actually performing better than expected is George Kittle is like the one guy that doesn't make any complaints. He just goes out there and does the job. Jawan Jennings is another example. He's performing better than expected, and he's putting a lot of the heart out there. You see it with Jordan Mason before the injury. So, Christian McCaffrey is trying to go out there. He's putting his body out there. So, of course, you got to appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely agree with you. Like, I think Kittle – I think Warner's another one.
Warner's playing with a fractured ankle. He's playing with a fractured ankle, and he's going out there. So it's like, what do you want from this guy? Then you got Brock Purdy coming back from this injury, and he's going out there trying his hardest. So those are the kind of guys that are trying very hard. So it's not like they're not trying. It's just not coming our way right now because of what we got going on.
Yeah, it's just not clicking.
Yeah, and speaking of something, since we want to talk about the injuries and who will return, so so let's discuss the injuries. So 2 of the running backs are placed on injured reserve right now. So what's your thoughts on? Yeah.
So one, it makes me sad. One, I felt, and I know we've talked about this. I thought they should have eased McCaffrey in a bit, versus I felt like he got the ball a lot. I thought there should have been more equal
touches.
Between all of them. And I don't know. I don't know if maybe if we did it that way, maybe his injury this week wouldn't have happened or something. I don't know. I guess in my mind, I like to think so. It is really unfortunate, but I heard we signed someone, Israel something. Did you hear that?
Abonaconda.
Okay. And I heard he's good, so I'm excited to see him play this weekend, but it is really unfortunate that both CMC and Jordan Mason are injured.
Yeah. Like, we saw what Jordan Mason was in the early part of the season, and then he gets a chance to get the ball again, then he gets hurt. So it's like, damn, what's going on? So, yeah, and then we're signing a running back from the Jets, Israel Abanaconda. He's got some speed.
Yeah. Oh, see, I have never seen him play. Yeah, I have no idea. I heard he was from the Jets, and I'm excited to hopefully see him on Sunday.
Yeah, I've heard some hype about him. I heard that he's got some of that track speed that can translate really well, but it's just crazy. It's crazy how the Jets don't even utilize a lot of their talent, but they were stacked at running back, so it was kind of hard for him to stick around longer. So he has like that 4.27 speed, I believe, from my mistake.
Tell me more. What does 4.27 mean? Is that a beeper code?
No. He's got that speed like that. Like he's got like that track speed that you can't coach, just like Garendo. But he's a faster than Garendo.
Oh wow! See, and I think Garendo's pretty fast. So
Garendo's pretty fast, but this guy is something else.
Oh, cool! So I'm excited for this. I'm excited for him.
I've heard in the combine he ran a 4.27.
Oh, I see. That's where 4.27 is. Okay.
That blazing speed, and he had the same weight as Garendo, but I could see where we're going with the speed.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. Oh, so how do you feel about Garendo now? He's going to get more touches.
I'm excited for him. I want to see him play more. I think this is good. I'm also trying to think like, are we going to utilize Pearsall at all?
So you're concerned about the lack of use on Pearsall. It's like they don't even trust him at this point. Ever since that Buccaneers game, he's been quiet.
He has, and sometimes I think, I think it's good for, I know he's a rookie, but he was our first round pick. So it's kind of like, I want to see why you decided to pick him as the first. Does that make sense? Like, why did you pick him first? So let me see.
What he can be. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And all of that jazz. So yeah, I would like to see if, I don't know what Kyle has planned.
It's probably because of the protection was pretty bad, and maybe because Brock didn't have quite time to look around, and there was times he was open, but Brock wasn't able to get time to find him, and then there was times that Brock just, there's a huge reason why he probably didn't get much targets. It's because you have guys like Kittle and Debo and Juwan getting most of the targets, of course. Those guys are going to get most of the targets. But then Pearsall becomes the other option, so I think they're going to figure out something with him. So it's going to take – I think it's because they're more focused on running the ball more, and plus, like, who are you going to throw the ball more likely? Are you going to throw it to Pearsall, who's only been okay at times?
Right.
Or are you going to trust Kittle or Juwan?
Right. No, I totally understand that. And I don't know. We'll see what happens this Sunday, because if we just – run it, which is what we usually do, then I just want to win. I feel like I'm turning into a Raider. Like, just win, baby. Just win. Like,
it's like like the Raider model. that would be kind of like the model that they should come up with, but
yeah.
But just okay. Okay. So speaking of who's going to return, so Lenore already practiced, so that's kind of a
positive. Is Trent playing this game?
No, he hasn't practiced. I don't think he is. There is little hope that Bosa might play, so we'll see.
Okay, and then
Greenlaw would either be next week.
What about Bosa? Is Bosa playing?
Bosa, it kind of seems 50-50. He might play or not, so we'll see. But he hasn't practiced.
Bosa's okay. He might play, and then he hasn't practiced, and then Greenlaw is looking like for the Rams, right?
Yeah, I think for the Rams game you're going to see him out there. I think they're just trying to play it smart, because then after that on Thursday he should be more cleared to play.
Okay. And then did I read it right? Ronnie Bell's back on the practice squad?
Oh yeah, Ronnie Bell. Good Lord, this guy can't even find a way to get out of our roster. Somebody should have claimed him, but nobody wants him. Like, we just cut him. We say, hey, everybody, you want to get him? Go ahead. Now we're good. We'll pass.
Oh, that was great. I was like, the Thanksgiving miracle.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh couldn't take him. Come on, dude. You coached him at Michigan.
Yeah, that was pretty funny to me. So yeah, there we go. He's back.
Yeah.
I know. You never know. Ronnie, my bell.
Ronnie, ring my bell.
That's funny.
That is kind of funny. Yeah, so those are the guys who are going to return soon. So, okay, let's check.
With the returns. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, perfect.
The returns. You want to talk about the returns? We all know Greenlaw is leaning towards that direction. And Lenore's already coming back. So Trent Williams, I'm not sure what the timetable is with Trent Williams. It might just be maybe at the end of maybe at the last 2 games. Who knows? I don't know. It's like he's mentally broken and he's injured too. So which Trent are we getting?
Yes, and who takes over for Trent?
Jalen Moore. He's been playing pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah. It seemed like we didn't miss quite a beat without Trent. Like Jalen Moore played really well.
Okay. Yeah, because that left, it's usually the left side, right? He's left tackle.
Yeah, I want to show you let me see if I have the picture or not, but I have a picture of what Jalen Moore did the last 2 games, and it gives you the grade of what he did. So let me see if I can find it. But it's encouraging if you look at it. Watch. I'm going to show you and see. Hold on. Damn it. Nope, that's the wrong one. I meant the other one. Hold up. Let me just add this right here, and then I'll put it into the. Wait, how do I do it? Because I know I had it last time, and I did something like this. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have to add it on my layaway or something? What did I do last time?
While you're doing
I'm trying to remember how I did it last time.
You might just have to text it to me.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see.
So while he's figuring that out, how do you feel about this upcoming game?
How I feel about the upcoming game? Yep. I feel very confident. I think we're gonna get it together. We're gonna find who this team is. We're gonna figure out what this team's more than capable of doing this year. We just have to figure it out, and I think everything will take care of itself. Wait, let me see if this works.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Tell me what you think it is.
He's the 5th highest grade among all attackers on the left. Oh, well, good for him. I didn't read the stat. That's really good.
So he's played pretty well despite Trent Williams missing time.
Okay, good. That's good for him.
Just wanted to give you something to be more optimistic about, even though Trent's been gone. But Jalen Moore's kind of held okay. Oh, since Aaron Banks has been off the lineup, Ben Barch has been pretty solid.
Ben Barch. Okay. What number is he? See, I was like, what number is he?
78.
78, and then Moore 76. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, I guess Granddadzer knows the history. He's a history guy. He's a history teacher kind of guy. Oh yeah. So speaking of this, since we're gonna discuss this, okay, so before we get to the score prediction later in a bit, let's talk about, is there any hope for playoffs with 5 games left? So, okay, we're possibly 2 games behind our division. There's 5 games left. We got the Bears, the Rams on a short week. I mean, we got the Dolphins coming up soon. You got Detroit coming to town, and you got the Cardinals. So those are your remaining schedules. Yes, I mean it's possible, but I think you need everything to line up, right? We need to win this weekend. Doesn't Arizona need to win this weekend? They need a win to be back in that division race. Yes, but will they? Right. Because it's Arizona versus Seahawks this weekend. So it's those 2. And then what? Then I think we can only have 2 losses that aren't in our division, right? For us to it has to be. Well, if we can win our 2 division games and win the conference games, then I think so. But we don't want to lose we don't want to lose any more games.
Right. But yes, I agree. But the one game I will tell you that I had as at the beginning of the season that I circled, I said the Lions game would be one that we could possibly lose just
Yeah,
because they might be coming in with that vengeance of last year. Because
yeah,
the way we play, this is how I see the Lions. When we lost the NFC championships to the Eagles and then we came back like fire the next year, that's how I feel like the Lions are playing this year.
yeah. The Lions seem like a different team. It seems like that loss to the Niners was the best thing that happened to them now
Yes.
because they're playing way better football than they ever did. So
absolutely. So they're with a vengeance. So I circled that game of like, ooh, we could possibly. That was one for sure.
that could be a possible loss. Yeah. And then looking at the games here, but then Granddad just said his Dolphins are favored by 13.5 points versus the Niners right now. But can it change in the next two games? We'll see.
Yeah. I think that'll change. I think they could win against the Dolphins for sure. I think the only game that you don't think so, I think so.
Well, the Dolphins are kind of like peaking right now. They're getting healthy right now.
They are getting healthy, but I think if I see
and
the
we're
two
playing
losses,
in Miami, weather's different.
This is true. Here we go again. The weather cannot be that much of a factor. They are professional athletes. Like they gotta get it together.
Yeah,
so are you saying they're gonna lose to the Dolphins and win everything else?
No, I'm not saying they're losing to the Dolphins. I'm just saying that I wouldn't take the Dolphins lightly because remember they were injured in the other part of that season. Now they're getting some guys coming back. Now they're coming back. Yeah, I mean, they lost to the Packers, but let's be honest. I guess they're just not a weather team. But in their stadium, it's a different story.
Yes. Okay. True. In addition, not that I'm saying anything, but we also kind of have to take it a bit week by week because injuries and things happen. So, I mean, because at one point I was like, whatever, the Bears, and now I'm like, anything could happen.
I mean, okay, so if I had to just be honest about the remaining games, I mean, we can only afford to do what we can. So I'll look at it this way. So the Bears, it seems winnable, even though they're going to play Inspire football. It's going to be a close ball game. The Rams on a short week.
Advantage. That's got to be something, right? With all of our crowd and people.
Yeah, with two of these home games and then going on the short week to the Rams, I can see us win these two games.
Yeah.
But then the Dolphins game is very tricky. It's very tricky because we're going to be playing in Miami, and it can be a different kind of like heated element that we're not accustomed to because we didn't do practice. But maybe this could factor in like we did in Tampa Bay, I guess. Let's see. So Dolphins is going to be tough, but can we win it? Maybe, but they're on a roll right now. So I wouldn't take them lightly right now. Let's see. You got Detroit. Wait, we got Detroit Lions, right? So
the Lions.
The Lions. Yeah. Okay, we got the Lions. That's going to be a tough one on Monday Night Football. So that one can be a very bad game or a good game. It can go from disaster to maybe the best game of the year. We'll see.
Yes, there's potential.
Cardinals, they could be competing for that division. So we got to win out that. We got to beat them. So, yeah, I think we can win out maybe out of these games, I'll say 3 out of 5. I don't know. I just don't see us making the playoffs.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think that's fair. I feel like you've been the good angel this whole season, and I've been the little bad angel on the other shoulder. Like, I don't know, things aren't feeling right. I think I still have hope that I think we might make playoffs, but
I hope so.
Dwindling. Yeah, it's dwindling.
Yeah, I hope so. But these two games, we should be able to win those games. We should be 7-7. But Miami Dolphins, it just tells me it's going to look ugly for some reason.
Yeah, and there's something too that I don't know if this makes any sense because then you start to think like, well, yeah, you want to make playoffs, but if I can feel very confident now and say it on the internet, like the Niners are not winning the Super Bowl this year, I feel very confident saying that. So do we want to win? Do you want to go playoffs, or do you want to like be at a place where we can the goal is to always get the Super Bowl, and it's sad that like, oh, we're gonna make the playoffs. Like it makes me sad also as a as a fan that we're only like our ambitions aren't like the big one. Like, how do we get to the big one when we keep almost getting there?
I just think realistically we'd be lucky to make the playoffs. Like, okay, hopefully I'm wrong about the Dolphins game and the Lions game. Then, hey, if we win out those 5 games, it's possible. Maybe we get this type of scenario with how we had Jimmy G for those 5 games. Can we get that kind of scenario where we pull up an upset on those 5 games and come away and go on a run? Then, yeah, maybe. Hey, Bad Angel. Oh, wow. I don't know about that. Hey, I ain't kind of go too far. She's just being honest about what she said about what she thought. I mean, she was mostly being realistic throughout the season, so I was a little bit homerish, if I'm being honest. I mean,
we were, but I liked that. I think that's really good that we have both sides of it where you were very like, yes. And I was like, oh, I don't know. The vibes are wrong.
but I'm kind of going to the vibes that you're doing, because I don't know. Maybe I said 3 out of 5 games I think we'll win, but other than that, I don't know.
So let me give you a scenario. Scenario, the Niners lose the rest of the games, all 5. If that were to happen, does something happen coaching staff wise?
I don't think so. I think they're only good. So I think the only ones who are going to be safe is Kyle and John. I think what's going to change is they're going to change the defensive coordinator. They're going to change the special teams, I hope. And maybe Kyle realized he needs an offense coordinator. And get rid of Chris Forrester would be nice. It would be a start. Get him out of here, because that's the only way Jake Brendel started. You got to get rid of the guy that got him the job.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know there's a lot of Kyle talk right now, but I really don't think they're going to get rid of Kyle. I agree with you. I think that they'll get rid of the coordinators, special teams, and exactly what you said.
I think they're going to get a retool. Like a retool as in like no rebuild, but they're going to fix it. And what's going to happen is Kyle's going to clean house a little bit and get better coaching staff. And it's going to be changes. It's going to be how like the Eagles had. You know how Nick Sirianni had his off year? Yeah. And he had a clean house.
Yeah. And that makes a big difference. And to be honest, too, I think there's another perspective that no one's really talked about, or maybe people have. But they've played for so long, right? They made playoffs last year, and we went to NFC Champion the year before, or we went Super Bowl. We've played so much that I think having rest, if we don't make playoffs and things like that, I think that'll be really good for the team. Like really good for them to actually have that rest.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be accustomed to it. Like you don't see the Chiefs take time off.
This is true. You're making a very valid point, but something in the water, they're not meshing. And I remember, what was it, week 3? Kittle was like, we haven't found our identity. And I remember being like, dude, something is not meshing. And it's either they're tired, or is it that they're like, we've been here before? Are they not believing the coach anymore? Like something's in the water.
Something's in the water, but it's not clicking right away. But, since you want to go by the final prediction, we'll give a final score prediction, and you tell everybody where your platform is. So let's do a final prediction.
Okay. My final score for Sunday. I don't know if this is going to really be it. I wrote down 17-27.
Ooh, so we win by 10 points. Okay, so I think it's going to be a very close game. Okay. I would say 24-21 Niners. We're going to walk away with winning that game. So who's going to have a good game? So, well, I want to say Isaac Guerrero is going to have a great game. He's going to have like one of those monster games. I think Guerrero is going to be on fire. So give me your X factor.
I think it's going to be Kittle. I think Kittle's going to have a really good game.
Yeah, and I'll throw in another bonus. Juwan Jennings, he'll get it going. He'll get it going.
It's not really a bonus. That's just he's just always in there. It's not a bonus.
I gotta throw it in there. It's a bonus for me.
I think Kittle will have a good game. And I do expect them to win. I think because they were like put on blast on national television and embarrassed like that.
I think they're gonna have to play better. Yeah, they're gonna wake up and play better.
So I think that'll be the juice that makes them get this win, which we need.
Yeah, and I expect Leonard Floyd to play a better game like he did last week.
Oh yeah, that would be good too.
Fred Warner's gonna have a good game. I think the secondary's gonna hold up pretty decent. Last question: did you put your? Oh, okay. He's got one more question. Man, Granddad, you've been throwing a lot of comments, man. I'll answer your last question. Okay. Did you put your Xmas decoration yet? If celebration this holiday? Not yet.
Not yet. Same. Not yet. Have you?
Not yet.
Yeah. No, not yet. What about you, Grandizer? Did you do it?
Did Granddad do it? Yeah. Did you put a decoration on your Christmas, buddy?
Do you make a 49er tree? Because I usually do a Niner tree. It's like red and gold.
I wish I did. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I think we pretty much just covered everything. Well, wait, let's see what he says. Oh, no, it's just me. Okay.
You could still do it. That don't mean nothing.
Just me. Oh, wow. You can still do it, dude, but I guess he can't afford. I don't know. Maybe he can't afford. Maybe because he works a different job or he lives in a small place. Not everybody can afford everything all the time.
This is true. That's okay.
I am solo now, family. I live. Oh, okay, man. You got your own life going on. Okay, I get it, man. All good. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, but I guess we covered everything. So let's call it a day and see you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye.